Hey there, welcome back to your favorite channel, Real Estate for Real with Arek and Elaine. So we're hearing a lot of noise out there. Should I buy now or wait until the market simmers down? Will the market simmer down? What are the benefits of buying now? Our goal here today is to separate some fact from fiction because, as I mentioned, there is a lot of noise out there regarding the real estate market and what direction is it heading. So a question that we hear daily is, should we buy now or wait until the market settles down? And I'm going to talk about this and share what we do know, and by the end of this conversation, hopefully you will be able to answer this question for yourselves. And the goal is to provide you with some accurate facts and data to help you make an informed decision and answer this question. Should I buy now? A lot of reporting is based on national data and broad general averages. And we are going to speak to our local market areas here in Connecticut. However, we do watch what's happening on a nationwide level as well. So let's get started. Mythbuster number one. We're in a housing bubble. Well, I want to share some facts behind that. Today's housing market is certainly record-breaking and moving at a high velocity, and it's very different than the housing bubble from the early 2000s that caused that crash. Now, what are some of the causes from the early 2000 crash, you may ask? Well, number one, new construction of single-family homes flooded the marketplace. Number two, our lending standards were very loose. There were a lot of no-doc loans, stated assets and income, meaning unverified, just tell them what you make, and people taking advantage of ARMs, otherwise known as adjustable rate mortgages, in order to get a very low percentage rate or interest-only loans. And number three, many homeowners were cashing out on their equity through refinancing their loans. They were taking advantage of these inflated prices. So today's market, though, is nearly the exact opposite. And I am going to share some stats with you regarding mortgages which come from MBA. So number one, our new construction starts have been historically low during the past 10 years. In March of 2009, there were only 353,000 single-family homes that began construction nationwide, and well below our pre-financial crisis highs. And today as a nation, we are about 4 million units short to meet demand. So according to Business Insider, during the Great Recession, the single-family starts fell about 80%, and we have not even gone back anywhere close to it. So the market is undersupplied right now rather than oversupplied when it comes to new construction. Number two, lending standards are much tighter. The average FICO score today is around 760, according to the Wall Street Journal. Back in 2005, 31% of all loans were ARMs, which all came due. Now today, there's only about 1.4% of loans are ARMs. And in 2005, 69% of loans were also refis, equity cash outs, creating underwater or upside down situations. Now today, more than 50% of all mortgagees have more than 50% equity in their homes. By the end of 2024, it's estimated that 74% of all loans will be purchases and 26% will be refis. So with continued high demand in the marketplace and low inventory, we will continue to see appreciation continue. You know, it's economics 101, supply and demand. When supply is low and demand is high, appreciation will continue. Okay, that brings us to Mythbuster number two. Lots of foreclosures are going to be coming onto the market. Well, the facts here are, yes, you're hearing stories about the volume of foreclosures that are all over the news, but do remember context is everything. Many homeowners were able to pause their mortgage payments during the forbearance program. And there was legitimate concern from the experts that this would cause an increase of foreclosures coming to the marketplace. However, foreclosures this time around is nothing like it was the last time around in the 2000s. And here are some reasons why. So most homeowners have enough equity to sell their homes if needed to catch up on their payments. There have been fewer foreclosures over the last 2 years, and the current market can easily absorb the new listings. Most homeowners are exiting their forbearance plan either fully caught up on payments or with a plan from the bank that restructured their loan in a way that allowed them to start making payments again. You know, banks are in the money business. They're not in the business of housing, and they do not want to take on ownership of a bunch of houses. So they're working things out with their people. And for all of these reasons, experts don't anticipate a wave of foreclosures that would negatively affect housing prices. And so myth number 3, housing prices will depreciate. And here's the facts, because this might be one that you've heard time and time again. But skyrocketing price appreciation has many sellers and buyers sitting on the fence. However, experts do not anticipate prices to drop anytime soon. Instead, data from earlier in the year has already been adjusted to higher than previously anticipated. So First American explains it like this. While house price growth is expected to be moderate from the rapid pace of 2021, strong homebuyer demand against a backdrop of historically tight inventory of homes for sale will likely keep appreciation positive in the coming year. So for both buyers and sellers, this means one thing. Playing the waiting game is going to be risky business. When it comes to sellers, the higher price appreciation over the last 2 years has been great for their home's value. But if they'll also be buying a home after selling, they shouldn't wait for prices to fall. Now, in both cases, waiting will only end up costing more in the long run because climbing mortgage rates and rising home prices will have an impact on their next home purchase. Average sales price predictions for 2022 are on the rise. Okay, so NAR, National Association of Realtors, is predicting 6.1%. Freddie Mac predicting 6.2%. MBA 6.6%. Fannie Mae 7.6%. CoreLogic is anticipating 9.6%. Now, keep in mind that some places like Vegas, Montana, Arizona, Salt Lake City, Orlando, Raleigh, they're seeing much bigger increases. But on average, all of those are around 7.5%. Now, Fannie and Freddie are predicting that from between 2023 through 2026, an average of 3.5% appreciation per year. So if you bought a home at $360,000, it would be worth around $450,000 in 2027. That's a great investment and great equity growth. So again, we can't guarantee it, but this is what is being predicted by the largest and most respected organizations in the industry. Now, we do have some local market data here to share and consider. And this market data is coming from our Connecticut Multiple Listing Service and Showing Desk. And Connecticut was off about 2,700 units in the first quarter of 2022 compared to the first quarter of 2021. Average sales prices in Connecticut is up 7.1%. That's in the first quarter of 2022 compared with the first quarter of 2021. Demand remains at an all-time high, and it seems to be increasing coming out of the pandemic. So our days on market, we're seeing around 21 days on market with about 10 showings per listing. Remote working will continue to drive home sales in rural areas. Another concern that we hear is, are we heading into a recession or in a recession? But according to Wall Street Journal and FHFA in the US, when we face a recession, home values don't drop, which is surprising, I'm sure you must be thinking. And the only time we saw that was in 2007, 2008, when prices fell almost 20%. But again, that was following a mortgage crisis in 2006. So it was not similar to anything going on today. Overall, prices remain steady, and when our economy slows down, it seems as though rates are all over the place and have gone up 1.5% in a month. And you may say to yourself, well, I shouldn't buy because prices will drop. But actually, history shows that prices don't drop when rates skyrocket, going up over 1 point in less than 40 days. Home prices have not been affected at all. In fact, prices rose. And here's the last 6 times that rates have done this, with an average increase in rate of 1.4. 1996, home prices went up 2%. In 2000, home prices jumped 13% when the interest rates jumped to 8.5. In 2004, home prices jumped 13%, and this was a great market in Connecticut, and rates were around 6.25%. In 2006, prices jumped up 7%. So look where we are today. Rates just went from 3% to 5% in a couple months, and home prices keep rising. So bottom line, it's our job to be your advisor in this fast-paced market. And hopefully, this conversation was able to clear up some misconceptions about what's really happening in real estate. Our goal is to provide education and keep you up to date on the latest market data so you can make informed decisions in order to achieve your real estate goals. So contact us directly for market stats about your town and your neighborhood.